Southwest Mississippi Bears tonight for this MACC matchup. ICC comes in tonight with a record of 14-12 overall, 6-7 conference record, and the visiting Bears come in with a record of 4-18 overall, 2-10 in the MACCC. ICC comes off a hard-fought 3-2 win on Monday night when they traveled down to Gulf Coast Community College, and the exact opposite for Southwest. They lost a close one, 2-3 at home versus Meridian. This is the first year for Southwest. New program here, as several new programs are joining the volleyball ranks in Division 23 this year. Southwest won the very first matchup back in September down there at Summit. It was a close-fought 3-2 match that the Bears were able to take away from the Indians. But ICC has been looking stronger since then. It's hoping to continue their winning ways from earlier this week and to continue to get a little momentum here as they push toward a spot in the playoffs. And getting above 500 will make a big difference there. So getting that 7th conference win tonight will put them up there. Statistically, ICC has the edge coming into this match. ICC comes in scoring 10.34 kills per set to Southwest 8.21. ICC hitting slightly better as well at a 143 percentage over Southwest's 137. ICC averages 9.34 assists per set, and Southwest has 7.47 blocks per set. ICC also leading the advantage there, 1.33 to 1.16 for the Bears. ICC getting almost 2 aces per set at 1.97. Southwest getting 1.30. Bottling Works starting lineups. Welcome back, Indian fans, and a special hello and welcome to anyone who is watching tonight on behalf of the Southwest Bears. We're going to take the time here to provide you the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the Southwest Mississippi Bears. Tonight, starting off for them will be number 2, Sailor Hammond, a freshman outside hitter from Laurel. Number 5, Dylan Carroll, a freshman libero from Purvis. Number 7, Reagan Robinson, a freshman outside hitter from Slidell, Louisiana. Number 8, Hattie Tynes, a freshman setter from Purvis. Number 9, Haley Eckert, a sophomore middle hitter from Canyon Lake, Texas. Number 14, Ava Davis, a freshman setter from Diamond Head. Number 20, Berta Souls, a freshman middle hitter, outside hitter from Waynesboro. And number 24, Khalees Parker, a freshman libero from Olive Branch. So that's your starting lineup for the Southwest Bears. And now for the starting lineup for your ICC Indians, the Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineup. ICC and Coke, that's a winning combination, and Coach Annie McGregor hopes that she has that winning combination here tonight. So for your Indians tonight, number 1, Ella Grace Phillips, the freshman outside hitter from Amory. Number 4, McLean Dorr, a sophomore outside hitter from Madison. Number 5, Michael Ann East, sophomore outside hitter from Oxford. Number 11, Chloe Carr, a freshman libero from Flora. Number 12, Fisher Enos, freshman setter from Brandon. Number 15, Katie Vaughn, sophomore outside and middle blocker from Florence, Alabama. Number 23, Annie Woolbright, sophomore libero from Columbus. And number 25, Avion Taylor, freshman middle blocker from Caledonia. So those are your ICC and Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups. We'll take a short break and come back with the national anthem and the presentation of the starting lineups on the floor. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Metro Ford pregame show here for ICC Volleyball on the ICC Sports Network. We're getting ready just moments away from the national anthem and the introduction of the starting lineups here on the floor. We'll take you to the floor for that right now.
Florence, Alabama, Katie Ball. Number 20, a freshman center from Marion, Arkansas, Maggie Miller. Number 23, a sophomore libero from Columbus, Mississippi, Annie Woolbright. Number 25, a freshman middle blocker from Columbus, Mississippi, Ivy Taylor. The head coach for the Indians is Amy McGregor. She is assisted by Caroline Smith. Let's play volleyball.
And welcome back here to the Metro Florida pregame show for ICC Volleyball. That was your national anthem and starting lineups provided there on the floor. We'll get ready here to fire off in just one moment. In case you didn't join us earlier, ICC coming in tonight with a record of 14-12, 6-7 in the conference. The visiting Southwest Bears coming in with a record of 4-18, 2-10 in the conference. ICC looking to build on momentum from a win Monday night down at Gulf Coast, whereas Southwest lost their Monday night game at home versus Meridian. So see if ICC can keep that momentum rolling here, trying to push their way toward the playoffs and improve their conference record to 500. So let's see what goes on here tonight. ICC in their home ice whites with the powder blue accents. The visiting Southwest Bears on the far side of the court for the opening set in a red and blue with their liberos in white. ICC's liberos in gray. All right, so the officials are checking everyone in, making sure they're in the right positions. Looks like we have a different crew than we've seen the last couple weeks here, where we had some of the same officials for 2 or 3 games in a row. This looks to be a different officiating crew tonight. And there ICC gets it off, and that first point is going to go to the Bears. As they're able to get that one up, power it down. That's number 2, Sailor Hammond with the kill. She's quickly going to check out. So serve's going to go over to Southwest. This will be number 6, Allie Mitchell, coming in to serve for Southwest. She gets it over. Ella Grace Phillips is going to dig that out. It's going to be set back to Phillips on the left side. She taps over. Southwest prepared for that one. They go to their left side. Power down. Blocked by ICC, but dug out by Southwest. Going to get back over. Block again by ICC. And just a fortuitous tap over the defense there by number 9, Haley Eckert, for Southwest, as ICC had pulled up on that defense there, and she found a hole in the back line. So quickly 2-0 for the Bears in this first set tonight. Serve again to Phillips. Set to the line there, and then Katie Vaughn in the middle of the net. Takes it home there with authority. Gets her first point of the night. Gives ICC its first point as well. Now trailing 2-1 here in the first set. Ella Grace Phillips back to serve for the Indians. Sends one over, dug out by Southwest. They're going to work to their right side. Tap over, back to Southwest side, and they get it over. And again, oh, that one's going to count in. That one coming from the left corner. That was number 7, Reagan Robinson, scoring the point for Southwest. Again, finding a hole in the back line defense of the Indians. So now up 3-1. This will be number 14, Ava Davis, serving for Southwest. And she hits that one too long. So the first error of the night going to the Bears. And now ICC down 3-2. We'll send Vaughn back to serve. She'll serve from deep on the right side. Jump serve, sends it over. Dug out by the libero. We set up to that right side again, up and over. Phillips there to dig that one out for the Indians. Going to go to Medora on the right side, and she goes cross court, but too much. So that error is going to send a point, and the serve right back over to the Bears. So this will be Eckert to serve for Southwest. Southwest leading 4-2 in this first set so far. ICC sets up to the left side. There's MA East, powers it over a defender, comes off the Bear defender, gives ICC the point. So after some earlier substitutions, there's a second round of substitutions for the Indians. These sets of substitution being brought to you by Brandon Poland, your local State Farm agent here in Fulton. So number 20, Maggie Miller will serve for the Indians. Southwest is going to set that up to their left side. Blocked there by Taylor. Southwest keeps it alive. That one taps it over. Good dig out by Woolbright. Going to set the right side. Ralston goes across court and unfortunately has the same issue that Dorr did earlier. It's going to go a little too long. So now some substitutions on the Southwest side. And they will now send Reagan Robinson back to serve, and she gets it just over. East able to dig that one out. Back to East, and she powers one down that's dug out by the Bears. Power dig in there, dug up by ICC. Phillips from the backcourt, able to handle that, Southwest is, and they're going to power up to blocks by ICC at the net. Going to go back to Taylor in the middle. She powers one down, but it goes too long. So far, ICC falling behind in the errors category. 3-1 has given some easy points to the Bears. ICC's now trailing 3-6 here in the first set. This set dig up, Taylor to the middle, again goes too long. So that's back-to-back attacks that just go too deep and give free points to Southwest. ICC looking to stop this bleeding here. Robinson continues to serve for Southwest. This is going to be set up to the left side to East, and she goes long. No, in. Excellent. ICC's going to get the point there. So that's 2 kills for MA East this evening. Some more substitutions on the ICC side. This is brought to you by Little Caesars of Tupelo. Fulton, excuse me. And now Nana Salter coming in to serve. She's digging one up on the left side. Southwest goes back over. ICC blocks that one, but Southwest continues to work it out. That one drops in. Oh, what a dig there by Miller, but they're going to say that the ball touched the floor. So now Southwest leading 8-4 here in the first set, and this will send number 8, Hattie Tynes, back to serve. ICC digs that one out. Ralston gets that one across. Southwest is going to work their left side, falling back. Ralston goes up to block, but blocks it out of bounds. So Coach McGregor's going to take a quick timeout, and we'll take it with her. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back live, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize as we had some slight technical difficulties. We were trying to fix the score bug at the top so that as it works with our cameras and our scoreboard here in the Davis Event Center. We're going to have to just keep that going to you manually. So with that point there, we'll get reset here. ICC is trailing in this first set tonight, 12-9. So Southwest leading 12-9 here in the first set. This will be Ella Grace Phillips going back to serve for the Indians. She gets that one over, just touches the net, comes over. Southwest digs that up. Power shot there that finds another hole in that backline defense. That's been the issue for ICC throughout the night so far, is Southwest being able to attack the holes in that backline defense once they shift around. So now Southwest leading 13-9 here in the first set. This will be number 14, Ava Davis, serving for the Bears. Phillips digs that one out. Set there by Miller to East. She just taps one over lightly when the defense was expecting a power and did not get it. So ICC cuts that lead to 3, now trailing 10-13. Substitutions on the ICC side brought to you by Orthopedic Institute, North Mississippi. This will be Katie Vaughn going back to serve for the Indians, and unfortunately puts that one into the net. Those unforced errors have been problematic so far early tonight for the Indians. They've got to work on cleaning those up and not giving free points to these visiting Bears. So number 9, Haley Eckert steps back under the goal to serve. Dug out there by East, going to set Taylor. Powers it down, but dug out on the back line by Southwest. Shot there off the front. ICC ready. Quick tip over by Enos. Taylor blocks that one down. Point for ICC as she gets vertical on that one. ICC cuts the lead back to 3. They will send more substitutes in. These substitutes brought to you by the ICC BSU. Just across the street from campus. They meet every Monday night at 7:07. This is Miller serving for the Indians. She sends one to the back line and almost gets an ace. There's a second touch there, but that one comes oddly off the back line setter. Front line can't handle it, so a quick point for Miller. She has been a strong server all year for ICC. She will serve again. This one kind of a knuckleball, twists out. Southwest going to power that one up, and that one's going to get past a diving Miller. Tries to get underneath that one for the second touch. So now that 3-point lead continuing to exist for the Bears as they lead ICC 15-12 here in the first set. Robinson serves. ICC gets ready to get that one back over. East strong off the left side. Did it come off a defender? It did not. So another cross-court attack that just goes too deep for the Indians. Southwest leading 16-12 here. Robinson serves again. Phillips digs that one out. Miller's going to set up to the left side to East. She goes a little half medium-sized shot to the center court. Finds the hole in the Bear defense. So after getting that point, she'll check out. Salter will come in. Salter will step back to serve for the Indians. That substitution brought to you by the ICC Wesley Foundation. ICC down 13-16, looking to cut into this lead here, but it's been a back and forth, and there's going to be an ace for Salter. The libero, Khalees Parker, dove for that one and couldn't get anything underneath it. So the first ace of the night, unless I missed one earlier, folks, forgive me if I did when we were trying to fix the technical difficulties, but the first ace of the night for ICC, and then that one has a nice idea, but it just curves too far, and it's going to be a service error. So quickly back to a 3-point lead for Southwest as Hattie Tyne steps back to serve for the Bears, leading 17-14. Salter digs out her serve. Miller's going to set Phillips. Phillips with a nice shot, and it is in according to the back judge. Coach for Southwest doesn't agree. Has a conversation with the floor judge, but corner judge back there saw that one closely. ICC cuts the lead to 2. And they'll send Chloe Carr back to serve. Carr sends one over. Southwest going to set to their left side. Power shot blocked by Ralston, but Southwest digs that one out. Shot over again. Miller gets it. Carr sets up to Phillips. Phillips goes left and deep, and what an athletic effort there by several of the Bears, reaching out, trying to keep that play alive, but ICC able to win one of those finally. Now they cut the lead to 1. Southwest is going to decide to take a timeout to stop the bleeding, and we'll take a quick break with them. Set to their left side, Souls, and they're going to say that ICC was in the net. So a violation there. Gets the point to the Bears. They now lead 18-17. This is number 24, Parker, that serves. ICC sets it up on the left side to Phillips. She powers it over a couple defenders there to bring the score back 18-18. Some more substitutions for the Indians. Fisher, Enos, and others will check in, and Enos will go back to serve. That substitution brought to you by Bank of Okolona. Enos serves back. Parker digs that one out, going to set to the left side. Block out by Vaughn and Dorr. ICC keeps that one live. Dorr's going to go strike on the right side. Southwest finds a way to keep that one going. Tap over, but there's going to be a net violation by the Bears. ICC gets the point, 19-18, and has their first lead of the night. Leading 19-18. Serve there, and it's in. Second ace of the night so far. One for Salter, one for Enos now. ICC already matching their usual 2 aces per set. That one also goes deep off Parker, but she has a little help. Southwest got to get that one over, and no good as they hit it deep into the ICC bench. And now ICC is not only tied this thing, but opened up a lead by 3 points, and that's going to cause Southwest to take a timeout. We'll take a break with them and come right back. Welcome back to action, ICC fans. ICC has stormed back to take a lead here in this first set tonight. They now lead 21-18. Fisher Enos continuing to serve for the Indians after Southwest took a timeout to try to break her. Let's see what happens. They're able to work one off the left side, tap in. ICC able to get that one going. It's deep, but Salter's going to get it over on the third. Southwest is going to work their left side. Strike there, but blocked by Dorr, and the successful block by Dorr. Point ICC. They are now leading by 4, 22-18 here in the first set. Fisher sends one over. It goes deep off of a player, and it's going to be ace number 2 on this run for Enos. So 3 aces in this first set. 2 by Enos here on this service run, allowing ICC to go from down 18-17 to up 23-18 at this point. Closing in on set point here if this run can continue. Enos gets that one deep to Parker again. She's going to get a little help. ICC able to dig that one out by Salter. Set up the right side of Dorr. She's blocked by a pair of Bears there. That's going to be Eckert and Hammond combining on that block. Stops the run by ICC, but they still are very close to closing out this first set. So serve will go over to the Southwest Bears. They're going to make a couple substitutions, or at least one substitution, excuse me, as Hammond will come out. Allie Mitchell will come in to serve. ICC going to look to quickly get this back and put it away and get that first set of the night. Dorr digs that one out, set in the center, Devon, and she powers that one down. Good sophomore leadership tonight by East, Vaughn, and Dorr early so far in this first set. So now at set point, Ella Grace Phillips, freshman from Amory, will step back to serve after Southwest makes a substitution. Phillips is going to serve from center court. Sends that one over, dug out. Set to the left side, right side. Phillips digs that one out for the Indians. Set that one out to Salter. Salter over a couple Bears. They're continuing to keep that one alive. A shot over the middle. Carr keeps that up for the Indians. Salter going to tap this one over. It bounces off of a few Bears. They're able to get it back on the third. Dorr sends over, and it goes just a little too deep there. I don't think she intended to send that one back over on the first touch. I think she intended to just dig that one out, but unfortunately those things happen sometimes. So ICC now leading 24-20 here in this first set. Trying to close out set one against the visiting Bears from Southwest. This will be number 14, Ava Davis. She steps back, serves it in. Clark digs that one out. They're going to set to Dorr in the middle, and she powers that one down. So ICC takes the first set by a score 25-20. We'll take a short break and come back as they switch sides. Welcome back, ICC fans, and also good evening to anyone watching on behalf of the Southwest Bears. ICC was able to, they fell behind early, but they were able to come back and take the, we will continue to share with you the score as we go on. So this is going to be number 5, Dylan Carroll, serving for the Southwest Bears to open up this second set tonight. We thought they were. Now ICC's going to, I don't think the officials are in line about ready to start. So, all right. Guess there was confusion over who had the opening serve. So scratch that. This will be Enos serving for ICC. She sends one over. Southwest going to step to their left side. They hit one off of a couple defenders. but did not touch a defender, went deep. That first shot error. And then the floor judge is going to try to converse with the chair judge. Now he's having a conversation with the Southwest coach. And we move on. 1-0 ICC here to open the second set. Southwest digs over, blocked by a couple of Indians, but not able to control that. So quickly tied up here, 1-1 apiece in this second set. Southwest looking to make a substitution as Mitchell will come in for them, and she'll step back to serve. Phillips digs that one out. Carr sets. Phillips gets it over on the third. It taps the net, comes over. Southwest powers off there to left side. Big dig out there by East. Going to set up Phillips on the left side again, and she's able to find a hole in the Southwest defense. So that should be a score of 3-1 ICC. Scoreboard here on the Jumbotron says 4-0, but that is not correct. Phillips is going to serve. Gets that one over. Southwest quickly off the center, blocked, but Southwest keeps it alive. This one they're going to have to get over in the third. East digs that one out. ICC able to set this one to the left side for Dorr. She goes long, but hits the back corner. Point in. So now it's 4-1 in favor of ICC. ICC taking the first set 25-20. Now with a 3-point lead here early in set two. Ella Grace Phillips will continue to serve for ICC. Sends this one over, dug out, set to the center, tap over there. ICC digs that one out. Quick tap over by Enos. Backline gets that for Southwest, and they tap over again. Chance here. Enos does get it back over on the third. Southwest this time going to go left side, a little stronger, and it just gets through the defense. So Southwest able to grab their second point here in set two. Cutting the lead in half. ICC leading 4-2 here. This will send number 14, Ava Davis, back to the back line to serve for Southwest. Sends one quickly over. Service error, it goes long and out of bounds. Some of our students here being vocal, supporting their Indians, may have had an effect there. So ICC now leads 5-2. This will be Vaughn serving. She gets one over, dug out off the back line, set to the front. Southwest gets it over. ICC is going to set to Dorr. She unfortunately gets that one into the net and does not clear the tape. So an error there allows Southwest to cut the lead 5-3 here in the second set. They will send number 9, Haley Eckert, back to serve. Quick whistle. And a formation issue there for ICC, not set properly, is going to lead to an easy point there for Southwest, who cuts the lead 5-4. Kind of points that ICC cannot afford to give away easily to any opponent. So Eckert sets the serve again. Dug out there by ICC. And go to Phillips on the back line. She gets it over. Left side for the Bears. They hit, but they hit deep. As number 7, Robinson, tries to land that one in, but just too much there. So side out substitutions. That substitution brought to you by Metro Ford in Tupelo. We're grateful to have them as a partner this year on ICC Sports. So now Maggie Miller will step back to serve for ICC, leading 6-4 here in set number 2. That was dug out, set to the right side. A slap hit there by Abby Greenlee comes off the ICC blockers. And so cutting that lead to 1, 6-5. And now Robinson will step back to serve for the Bears. She gets that one over the tape. ICC sets. Taylor with a lot of power, but dug out by Robinson. This time Southwest digs one out. ICC scrambles on defense, but is unable to get underneath that one. So whereas ICC had a commanding 4-1 lead early in this second set, Southwest is taking advantage of some errors and some defensive miscues to tie it up 6 points apiece. That one dug out by ICC, this time to Ralston. Ralston says, I'm not going to go cross court. I'm going to hit to mid-back court with some authority and gets ICC the point back. So now ICC up 7-6. They make a substitution. That substitution brought to you by Renaissance Bank. And Salter, who checks in for ICC, will step back to serve. She's dug out. Whoa, a quick reflexes keeps that one alive for Southwest. Ralston again, she's blocked at the line, but ICC gets it over, but out of bounds. So what looked like what might have been a possible second ace of the night for Ralston turned into a point for Southwest, and now they've tied it up 7 points apiece here in the second set. This is Tynes serving. ICC's going to go in the middle. Taylor tries to go hard, but she's blocked there by Greenlee. But that block does not land in bounds. So ICC gets the point off of Taylor's kill. Chloe Carr will check in, and she will serve for ICC. Dug up by Southwest, set to the right side. Greenlee tapped over. Phillips is unable to get control of that one as she tried to block it. So we're back to a tie set here. 8 points apiece in the second set. ICC winning the first set of the night, 25-20. They serve just at the feet of Salter, and she doesn't adjust to get underneath it. That's going to be the first ace of the night for your Southwest Bears, and that was number 5, Dylan Carroll, with the ace. She will continue to serve as Southwest has their first lead of this second set, and just that quickly, she puts one right in the middle of the net, and so the error allows ICC to tie it back up, 9 points apiece, make their substitutions. This time, substitutions brought to you by Brandon Poland, your State Farm agent here in Fulton, Mississippi. This will send Maggie Miller back to serve, Fisherinas to serve for the Indians. Block attempt by ICC, blocks out of bounds. And so right back to Southwest, as this has been a lot of back and forth throughout the evening. Not a lot of runs. ICC got a great run at the end of the first set in order to tie up and take a lead. And this second set has been a lot of back and forth. So Southwest leading 10-9, sends one back. Phillip digs it out to the front to Vaughn. Southwest working to get this over on the third. Mitchell does, but it's going to go too long. And Dorr almost makes the mistake of touching that one out of bounds, but wisely pulls back at the last second. So we're back to a tie score here. 10-all. ICC with the serve. Ella Grace Phillips stepping back to serve. She sends one over that Carroll digs out. Set to the center by Greenlee. She powers down and lands in bounds. So now point back to the Bears. Back and forth tonight. They're now leading 11-10 here in the second set. ICC up 1-0. Davis serves. East digs that one out. They're going to set to Dorr, who powers that one down on top of Mitchell. She's had good power tonight in the center when they've got the ball to her. So ICC, after a quick substitution, will send Vaughn back to serve. That one way too deep by number 9, Haley Eckert. Quickly sends the score back to tied. 12-all now here in the second set. Both sides making substitutions. These substitutions brought to you by your Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. Now, number 20, Maggie Miller steps back to serve for the Indians, sends one over. Southwest is going to set to the right side. Greenlee taps over, but there's ICC's defense ready to go. East with a slap over, but is blocked out by Greenlee. And so, we just go back and forth. Nobody's getting a run here. So the score is now 13-12 in favor of Southwest. This will be Robinson to serve. Phillips gets a bad twist on that with her wrists and sends it straight down. So that's going to be the second ace of this set for Southwest. One earlier by Carroll, one now by Robinson. ICC able to handle this one. East sends this one over with power. Southwest going to work their left side. Blocked out by Ralston. She had some help there by Taylor and others, but I think they're going to give the point there to Ralston on that block. So now ICC cuts the lead to 1. They trail 13-14 here in set number 2. Salter steps back to serve for the ICC Indians. A set to the middle. ICC able to handle that strike. Ralston going to go across court, but too deep. So serve back to Southwest, and they regain a 2-point lead. They're now up 15-13 here in the second set. This is Tyne serving. Dug out by Salter. A set to Phillips on the left side. A couple blockers are there. That's going to be 3 and 14. Greenlee and Davis combining on the block. And so now here's a little bit of a run for the Bears. They're up by 3, 16-13. ICC is going to need to find a way to stop this run. Tyne serves again. Dug out by Salter. Set in the middle for Taylor. She powers one down. Just too much for Davis to handle, and that will break that run, get ICC the serve back. They'll substitute out. That substitution brought to you by Little Caesars in Fulton. And now Chloe Carr checks in, and she'll step back to serve for ICC. Gets an odd one there, and she's going to get an ace off of that. The defender for Southwest dug that one out, but it just fell in between anybody else. So ICC quickly cuts the lead to 1. And Carr will serve again. That one dug out by Carroll. Set back line to Robinson. She's able to get it over. ICC is going to work to Phillips on the left side. Southwest getting ready to return. Greenlee gets it up. A couple of ICC defenders get a piece of that one, but no one gets it back over the net. So serve back to Southwest. They regain a 2-point lead here in the second set of the night. And this will be number 5, Dylan Carroll, back to serve. Sends one deep back to Salters. Digs that one out. They're going to go to Ralston. Ralston power. A block attempt by 2 Bears, but not enough. ICC gets the point, cuts it to 1. They trail 16-17 as they send some substitutions out. A couple people check in, including Fisher Enos, who will step back to serve. Enos sends one over. Working on the left side for Southwest. Nice dig out by Salter. Now Doerr's going to try to go over the top of the defense. Dug out by Carroll. They're going to set on the left side again. Salter ready again. Enos with help. And then Carr's going to attempt to get it back over on the third attempt, but it doesn't clear the tape. And so Coach McGregor is going to take a timeout. We'll take it and come right back. Welcome back to action as we come out of that timeout. That timeout brought to you by Orthopedic Institute. Coach McGregor hoping that she can break the little momentum that Southwest has gained here. ICC was able to take the first set 25-20 after coming back from a deficit to win that one. Now, after leading early, they find themselves down 18-16 here in set number 2. Southwest is going to make a substitution of their own. They're going to bring Mitchell in to serve. Mitchell gets it over, and Phillips gets underneath that one, sends it to the front. Doerr strong, but is blocked out. Carr going to get that one up to Phillips this time. Gets it over the line, but the back line is there for Southwest. They're going to go Robinson on the left. She gets it over a couple ICC defenders. Salter's in the back. Doerr's going to get it back over for ICC. Robinson's going to set out. Power strike there. A couple of Indians fighting for that one. Salter can't handle it. And so the timeout does not break the momentum of Southwest. They push their lead back out to 3. Now up 19-16 here in set number 2. Mitchell serves this one. Goes a little long. But ICC digs that one out. A nice touch there by McLean Doerr, as they really expected her to power that down like she has all night, but she just uses the light touch, drops it in the hole. Sends that serve back to ICC, who now trails 19-17 here in set 2. Phillips sends it over, dug out by Mitchell. Tap over by Eckert, and just finds a hole in the ICC defense. So we're back to the trading back and forth that we saw early in set number 2, but ICC can't allow that to happen when the lead for Southwest remains 3. So Davis serves for Southwest, and she's going to get an ace. So ICC giving up more aces so far tonight than Southwest typically is able to garner per set, as there's been several, 1 in the first set and 3 here in the second set. So Davis is going to serve again for the Bears. That one dug out by Carr. Power set up to Dorr. She gets it over a couple of defenders at the net. So ICC cuts that lead back to 3. They trail 18-21 here in set number 2. Katie Vaughn will step back to serve for ICC. The shot clears over. Magnificent effort by Robinson to keep that alive. Now ICC going to set up to East, whose shot hits the line, but just on the outside of the line. Oh, no, they say it does catch the line. I thought so initially, and I misread the officials, so ICC gets the point there. And Southwest going to take their first time out here. We'll take a break and come right back. Welcome back out of the timeout. Vaughn serves again for ICC. This one dug out by Robinson. Southwest gets it one over. And then Taylor's going to try to power one down, and she does after between a diving Mitchell and Carroll there. So ICC has cut this lead from 4 down to 1. They're down 20-21 here in set 9. She makes one across. Nice effort by East to get that one across. ICC working hard to get this one. And they're going to call a violation on East because after she made her diving attempt, she crossed the line underneath the net. So now a 3-point lead for Southwest leads Coach McGregor to take a timeout for ICC. We'll take it and be right back. Welcome back out of the timeout as both teams return to the floor. ICC had cut the lead to 1, 21-20. But Southwest has been able to score 2 quick ones, and now they are up 23-20 here in the second set. Looking to try to tie this after ICC took the first set. Serve over, ICC digs out. Gonna work to the left side to Dorr. Dorr gets a second shot. Good defense digging out there by Southwest. ICC going to set the left side to East. East comes down with authority as Mitchell goes diving and can't do anything with that one. So ICC cuts the lead to 2, 21-23. Substitutions on both sides. Those substitutions brought to you by Sam's Town Market in Mantachie. Now Maggie Miller will step back to serve for ICC. Dug out by Mitchell. Going to go to Robinson on the left side. She gets one past and finds a hole amongst, it goes long. ICC gets the point, so they continue to fight, stay alive here, cutting the lead to 1. ICC down 22-23 here in the second set, looking to storm back and take this one like they did the first set. Miller's serve goes over. Mitchell digs out. They'll set to the center. Taylor is there for a block. So ICC has tied this up 23-20. That's going to force Southwest to take another timeout here, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, folks, at a timeout. ICC has stormed back to tie this one up, 23-23. They were able to do so in set 1, come back and take it by a score of 25-20. And with Maggie Miller continuing to serve, can ICC steal a second set here from the visiting Bears? That one's over. Southwest is going to work to the left side of Robinson. She gets one. This time it goes in and doesn't go long. So a better shot placement there. Gives a set point opportunity to the visiting Bears. They'll make a substitution, and they'll send Robinson back to the line to serve. She gets it over, and unfortunately takes a weird hop off of the ICC defender, and that's going to be it for set number 2, as Southwest will take this one 25-23. We'll take a break here while the teams switch sides and come back just after this. Welcome back to Fulton, Mississippi, the Davis Event Center on the Fulton campus of Itawamba Community College for tonight's volleyball action here between ICC Indians and the Southwest Bears. We sit at 1 set apiece. ICC took the first set 25-20. Southwest took the second set 25-23. So as you can see, a fairly well even matched A lot of back and forth so far tonight. We'll see who's going to be able to pull away and take an advantage here. This third set is always a big one. Whoever can get that 2-set lead has a big leg up on the rest of the evening. So ICC will be first to serve here. It's going to be Fisher-Enos. She gets one over, dug out. Right side attack by Southwest. And then Vaughn's going to get it over for ICC. They're going to set to the middle. Dug out by ICC. Phillips is going to push over on the third attempt. Slap across by Eckert, but dug out by diving Vaughn. Salters is going to get across for ICC. Southwest going to have to do the same on their third attempt. Now Salters with a kill opportunity, but dug out by the back line of Southwest. Woo, quick move there by Enos to try to dig that one out for ICC, but unsuccessful. And Southwest gets the first point of set number 3. You're just now joining us, tied up 1 set apiece. Mitchell back to serve for Southwest. Salter digs out her serve. Vaughn's going to set her back. She gets it over on the third attempt. Southwest going to set the center line. Attack there by Robinson, and she puts it over Enos. And now Southwest with a quick 2-0 lead here. ICC has fallen behind a couple times. Going to try to do that as Carr digs out Mitchell's serve. They're going to set Salter as she goes for tap over. Southwest wants to go the middle. Dig out by ICC. Door's got a cross-court attempt. Dug out by the Bears. Salter once more going. Backline gets that one for the Bears. And then Robinson, but dug out by Carr. Going to set Door on the right side. She goes with a soft touch. Will it fall between? No. Good defense by the Southwest team. Long rally here. Who's going to get the point? Back and forth, back and forth. Set to Robinson. She goes kind of a cross shot, but Enos takes care of that one. Salters gets a shot, and it goes too deep. And so it's basically the longest rally of the night we've seen so far. Any set goes the way of the Bears. They have a quick 3-0 lead here in the third set. Mitchell continues to serve. Carr digs one out. And ICC unable to help her there. It's a little miscommunication. It's going to lead to a 4-0 lead for Southwest. Mitchell serves once more. Back to Carr. They set Vaughn in the center. She's blocked out, but ICC keeps it alive. Quick tap over by Enos. Robinson crosses it over, but Robinson puts it into the net. Uncharacteristic error for her tonight, as she's been very strong for these visiting Bears. So now ICC gets his first point of the third set. They trail 1-4. Salters serves. Dug out by Carroll. They're going to set to the middle. Blocked out by a couple of Indians there. Door and Vaughn working together to block that one out. ICC cuts the lead in half. They now trail 2-4 here in the third set of the evening. We're tied up at 1 set apiece. Salter's serve is dug out once again. Going to Robinson again, and she puts a lot of mustard on that one. Indians can't control it. And now the lead back to 3 for Southwest. This will be Davis stepping back to serve. And she puts one right in the middle of the net. So another error there. Sends the ball right back to the other side. ICC will make some substitutions. Those substitutions brought to you by Max Holmes here in Fulton. Now Katie Vaughn will serve for ICC, and she's going to get an ace. As Robinson went to try to handle that one and kind of got a weird turn, sideways turn on it, and could not control it. So ICC's now cut the lead to 1. They trail 5-4 here in the third set. Vaughn serving. Carroll digs that one out. They're going to set to Robinson. She gets a strong shot to the backcourt. Vaughn dives to try to get a hold of that one, but can't get underneath it. Side out back to Southwest. They'll make a substitution as Carroll will check out. Number 9, Eckert, will step back to serve for the Bears. The shot's dug out by Phillips. Enos quickly moves over. Good work by Taylor to get that over on the third. Southwest sets up Robinson once again. She's been the workhorse tonight. And she gets that one to fall in. And now the lead back to 3 for Southwest. They are up 7-4 here in your third set. Eckert ready to serve again. Phillips digs that one out, gets help. Back to Phillips, she gets it over on the third. Robinson once again working from that left corner is what's really strong for Southwest. Salters dives at one and gets a piece but can't do anything. So ICC now finds themselves where they had cut the lead to 1. They now find themselves down by 4. Biggest deficit of this set as they trail 8-4. Southwest serve. Phillips once again. This time up to Taylor. She powers down over a block attempt in the middle by Greenlee and others. So ICC gets the point. They make their substitutions. Those substitutions brought to you by Guarantee Bank. And now Maggie Miller, one of those new substitutions for the Indians, checks in, steps back to serve. Her shot dug out. They're going to set. Taylor blocks, but ICC still working. Ralston's going to try to get it over. Dug out by Carroll on the back line for the Bears. Robinson once again, and I believe they're going to say point to the Bears. So I believe there was a net violation perhaps by ICC. So that lead back to 4. ICC trailing 5-9 here in the third set of the evening. This is Robinson serving for Southwest. Phillips digs one out. They're going to set Taylor in the middle. She's blocked out on her kill attempt. Phillips has a shot. She gets over a couple defenders and past a diving Carroll to get the point. And so we side back out. Salters checks out for ICC. East comes back in. And Ella Grace Phillips steps back to serve. ICC trailing by 3, 9-6. Southwest going to have to scramble. They do get it back over. ICC is going to get ready. They give it to East in the center, and that's just easy when she can get elevation like that and no defender in front of her. So now the lead down to 2. ICC trailing as Phillips serves again. They got by Southwest, go the left side this time. They get it back over as Greenlee attempts to kind of drop in the back line, but she goes too far. That error allows ICC to cut the lead to 1. Phillips serving again, trying to tie this set up. And great effort by Southwest to keep that from being an ace. Quick tap over by ICC to catch them almost unaware. ICC ready for a rally. Back to East. She gets over a couple defenders and gets it down. Nice effort there on all sides. ICC wins a long rally, and they tie it up 9-9 here in the third set. Phillips serve over. Southwest going to work their left side. And there's that hole again in the middle back defense that has haunted ICC all night. Those front line attackers for Southwest have been able to spot that and drop those in there when they can. So they get the serve back. They get the lead back as well, as Southwest is now up 10-9 here in set 3. And this will be Hattie Tynes serving for the Bears. East digs that one out. They're going to work Taylor up front. She gets a strong kill attempt on that one. A lot of power. We've seen her blocking tonight, and we finally see a nice kill from her as well. As ICC gets the ball, they will make substitutions. That substitution brought to you by Metro Ford in Tupelo. And it'll bring Chloe Carr back to the service line for the Indians. Carr shot is dug out and gotten over. They're going to set East on the left side. She goes medium power and goes right over those defenders. So showing her leadership that she knows how to power one down when needed, but also just to give a nice touch. And now ICC takes their first lead of the set, 11-10. Carr serves again. Quick tap at the line from Southwest, gets it over. They're going to set East on the left. She gets it passed over a couple defenders. Back line can't catch it either. And now ICC, who has been trailing this entire third set, is now up by 2, 12-10. And that's going to cause Southwest to take a timeout. We'll take it with them and come right back. Welcome back to action here in Fulton, Mississippi from the Davis Event Center. We've got a great match going tonight between the ICC Indians and the Southwest Bears. We're tied up at 1 set apiece. ICC winning the first set, Southwest grabbing the second one. ICC now leading 12-10 in set 3. Chloe Carr's serve gets over. Power shot there by Southwest. ICC able to dig that out. They're going to set Ralston on the right side. She gets one down. Good to see that for Ralston tonight as she's trying to make a couple of those cross-court shots that have just gone too long. Great to see it when she can get one landing in there, the freshman contributing. Carr serves again. Robinson digs that out for the Bears. Good dig on the backside for Phillips for ICC, and Vaughn with the slap shot, but dug out by Southwest. Back to ICC. They're going to go to East on the left side. She gets a diving effort there by Robinson, but too many touches for the Bears. ICC on a run here. Southwest timeout did not break them as they've scored 2 more points since then, now leading 14-10 in set number 3. Carr shot crosses the line. Southwest digs out. Carr is able to dig their return. East again on the left side. Southwest able to handle this one. They're going to go to Robinson in the back, and she just finds a slight communication hole in the defense. Miller dove for that one, but no one really in a good position to return it. So Southwest is finally able to break the ICC run. They now trail 11-14 here in the third set. This will be Khalees Parker stepping back to serve for Southwest. Phillips digs that out. Miller sets to East. East goes kind of a sideways shot. Southwest going to slap shot block out there by East and Vaughn. East with big ups on that one. And quickly the ball goes back to ICC. They're going to make some substitutions. Those substitutions brought to you by Renaissance Bank. Fisher Enos, one of those subs who comes in. She steps back to serve for ICC. Shot dug out by Carroll. Cross-court shot by Southwest, but dug out there by Enos. And now Dorr has a chance to go cross-court. Good effort there by Southwest, but the third shot gets it back over, but out of bounds. So ICC now pushing their lead out to 5. 16-11 here in this important third set. Enos serves once again. Carroll digs that one out. They're going to try to set Eckert on the left side. She gets a shot past several scrambling Indians who were unable to do anything. Enos comes in the last second, gets it with her foot, which is legal, but it goes deep and out of bounds. So the lead for ICC cut back to 4, 16-12. And this will be Mitchell serving for Southwest. East digs her shot out. They set up to Vaughn in the center. Mitchell digs her shot out. Quickly over by the Southwest Bears. Catches ICC unprepared. Carr dives for one, but unable to handle that. So the lead now down to 3. Mitchell serves again. Carr's going to dig. Miller's going to set. Vaughn's shot dug out by Southwest. Carr digs out again. They're going to set East on the left side. She powers it past Robinson, who just tries to get her hands up. So ICC takes it back, pushes their lead back to 4, 17-13. A substitution or two for the Indians. Salter is in to serve for ICC. Her shot gets over, dug out by Carroll. She's going to need some help. Third shot's going to have to get it over for Southwest, and they do. Carr digs that out. Enos sets for Dorr, who makes a cross-court slap shot. Good work by Southwest to dig that one out. Salter from the back line for ICC. Like I said, Phillips on the left side. She's blocked out, but ICC keeps it alive. Salter to the shot now, but just a little too much power as that one goes long. So now a shot back over to Southwest as we're back into what we've seen throughout the night. Somebody will take a short run, then it's back and forth. And now 17-14 is the lead for ICC. Phillips digs that one out. Dorr with the power shot, and once again, switch out, go back to ICC side. Their lead is 4. They make a substitution as Carr checks out. Taylor comes back in. That substitution brought to you by Brandon Poland State Farm in Fulton. Now Katie Vaughn to serve for ICC. Vaughn has kind of a one-go sideways off the serve there, and the service error gives the point to Southwest. ICC's lead now 18-15 as Eckert will step in to serve for the visitors. Eckert's shot is going to be an ace. Phillips tries to dig that one out, but it goes sideways and too low for any of our teammates to help out. So the lead is down to 2. ICC up 18-16 here in the third set. Eckert to serve again for Southwest. Phillips with an easier time this time. They set up Taylor. She gets a shot, but it's dug out by Southwest. Robinson's going to try to find a hole in the defense, but ICC's ready. And then Dorr tries to do the same on the ICC side. Quick back and forth at the line between both, and then a big miscommunication by the Bears as everyone stands around and look at each other, not sure who's going to take the second set in the second attempt. So ICC pushes the lead back to 3. They lead 19-16. They'll make substitutions. Those substitutions brought to you by Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works. And now Maggie Miller will serve for the Indians. Miller's shot dug up. Will it color the line? It does on the third attempt for Southwest. Now they get Ralston. Ralston with the power across court. Robinson and Greenlee tried to block that one, but to no avail. So ICC reaches the 20-point mark. They now lead by 4, 20-16, and Southwest is going to take a timeout. We'll take it with them and come right back. Welcome back out of the timeout. ICC leads 20-16 here in the third set. We're tied at 1 set apiece after ICC took the first set 25-20. Southwest took the second set 25-23. ICC with the ball and Maggie Miller serving, looking to try to put away this third set, up by 4. Dugout serve. There go Robinson. She goes cross-court power, but too much. So the timeout does not break ICC. They push the lead to 5. They're now up 21-16 with Miller continuing to serve here in the third set. The shot is dug out by Robinson. Back to Robinson after the set. Woolbright digs that one out. Going to set Phillips on the left side. A couple of blockers, but they're not able to block it on back to the ICC side. So the kill for Phillips gives ICC the 22-16 lead. Nice run of service here by Miller. She continues to serve for ICC. She's going to try to drop this one in. Southwest ready. And then there's going to be a net violation as the Bear got into the net, shook it up. So ICC now 23-16. Just 2 points away from being able to get this set number 3 and take a commanding 2-1 lead. Another shot over and dug out, worked hard. Will it cross over? It does. Salter able to do it for ICC. They're going to set Taylor. Taylor goes over a couple defenders. She's really coming on strong as this match goes on. So now 24-16 in the third. ICC with set point. Looking to put away this third set and be in the driver's seat tonight. Serve dug out by Southwest. They go cross court. Diving effort there by Miller. Woolbright backs her up. Phillips is going to get it over on the third attempt. Southwest is going to try to go to Robinson. She gets through a couple defenders, but great work there by Miller once again. Phillips gets over defenders. Carroll digs that one out. Robinson on the left side. Couple blockers for ICC. Put it back over. They're going to go Robinson one more time. More blockers for ICC. ICC going to go to Ralston on the right side, and Ralston gets it down. The kill for their freshman gives ICC the 25-16 win here in the third set. ICC now leads 2-1 here over the visiting Southwest Bears. We'll take the timeout between sets and come back shortly. Welcome back to action here in Fulton, Mississippi at the DEC on the ICC campus in Fulton. ICC now has a 2-1 lead in sets. They took the first one 25-20. Southwest took the second set 25-23. And ICC just took the third set 25-16. We move into action here on the fourth set. ICC looking to try to grab this fourth set and end the night 3-1. Southwest looking to stay alive. So substitutions made after the initial check-ins by the floor judge, is making sure everyone's in perfect alignment. And I think we're all set to go here with set number 4. Southwest will have the opening serve. This is going to be number 14, Ava Davis. Serving for Southwest. Gets that one over. Phillips digs that out for ICC. They'll work to Door on the right side. A lot of power, but it's not quite able to clear the net as it hits the tape and doesn't clear. So once again, an early lead for Southwest, as has been throughout the night. A quick serve there from Davis. ICC ready for that one. Tap over by Vaughn. Southwest, that's going to be number 15, Tiara Martin. First time we've seen her get an action night. She tries to go strong from the front line, but goes too deep. And now ICC has tie 1-all. This will send Fisher Enos back to serve for the Indians. She drops one to the back line. Southwest has got to get it over in the third. They do that. They're going to set Door on the front. She does a tap in. Door's been so strong tonight, yet goes soft there. And Bear defense unable to react. So now ICC with their first lead of set number 4 as they're up 2-1. Enos serves again. Robinson digs that one out. Gets some help on the backside. Southwest able to get it over. They're going to set Door on the right side. This time she goes a little stronger. Hits the net, bounces over it, and falls in front of a diving Robinson. But ICC able to take the point. They now lead 3-1 here in the fourth set. Enos goes cross court this time on the serve. Southwest ready to get it over. Carr digs that out for ICC. They said East, and East goes up big, but quite a dig out by Parker. Southwest able to get it over. Carr digs out for ICC. They're going to set Door. She goes up and over the defense. Parker digs out it once again. Tap in there by Greenlee, and ICC too many touches. So the Bears able to break the run by ICC, cut the lead 3-2. They'll make a substitution and bring Mitchell in to serve. Mitchell shot deep and over and too far as Phillips wisely lets that one go. So a service error gives the serve back to ICC. They go up 4-2. ICC to make some substitutions. That substitution brought to you by Little Caesars, the favorite pizza place of Mr. Jim Ingram, who I'm sure is watching tonight, eating a slice of pizza as well. Salter will serve for ICC. Parker digs that one out. They're going to go to Robinson on the left side. ICC has blockers. ICC gets it back up over to Vaughn. She taps over. Southwest going to get it back. And a diving effort by Salter on the back line is unable to get a hold of that one. So as we've seen throughout a lot of the night, so far between these two teams, they're somewhat evenly matched, and they tend to go back and forth, back and forth. The lead for ICC only one now, as it's 4-3. This will be Eckert serving. She sends a knuckleball sideways. Phillips watches that one go out as well. So a pair of service errors here early is hurting Southwest, but ICC has a 2-point lead, 5-3. This is going to be Katie Vaughn to serve for ICC. Robinson digs that one out. They're going to go back to her on the left side, blocked out by a couple Indians. Back to the ICC side. They're going to set Phillips. She goes up, powers it down over a pair of defenders, over Martin and Souls. So ICC now pushes that lead back to 3. 6-3 here in the fourth. Vaughn serves again. Dug out by Martin. Oh, and a shot there, Robinson. It's too much for Taylor to handle. substitutions on both sides. Those substitutions brought to you by the ICC BSU. And now Hattie Tynes will step back to serve for the Bears. They're down 4-6 here in the fourth. Phillips digs that one out. And it sets up Taylor with a nice shot. Stays in. Corner judge has a good view on that one. So ICC pushes her lead back to 3, 7-4. They make substitutions. Bring in several, including Maggie Miller. She will step back to serve for ICC. Her shot goes over, dug out by Robinson. They'll go back to Robinson on the left side. A couple Indians block that to her. Taylor will be in. It's been a big night for the freshman out of that front line for her tonight. So ICC pushes her lead to 4. Now up 8-4 with Miller continuing to serve. But Southwest is going to make a substitution before that. They'll bring number 11, Allie Hathcock, in. All right, so Miller's serve goes over. Dug out to the line to Souls. Souls gets a hold of that one, but sends it too far, too deep. Point ICC as they push their lead to 5, their largest lead of the fourth set tonight. Miller serves once more. Robinson digs that out, gets a little backside help. She'll have to get it over on the third. Woolbright there. They set up Phillips in the front line, but there's a pair of Bears to block that one out. And that's Hathcock and Souls there who were able to get the point on the defense. So the lead is 4. ICC up 9-5 here in the fifth set. They leave 2 sets to 1. Robinson serves for Southwest. They set Taylor in the middle. She gets it over a jumping defender there. Powers it down over Hammond. And right back to ICC having a 5-point lead now. Salters is going to check out for ICC. And A.M.A. East will come in and replace. And now Phillips will step back to serve for ICC. Quick over by Souls, but ICC ready for that one. They're going to set East on her left side. She gets it past a couple defenders, but still alive for Southwest. Hammond gets it over some folks. ICC going to go back to East. Big dig out there by Robinson with help from Parker. Now ICC going to get ready to set. This time to Ralston on the right side over some blockers. Southwest going to go back to the left side to Hammond. ICC keeps this alive. Long rally here. East with another shot. She goes medium power. ICC's defense almost out of position. Back and forth. Southwest is going to set Hammond again. Blocked by Taylor, but it stays on the wrong side of the court for ICC. And that long rally point goes in favor of the Bears. So now ICC leads 10-6 here in the fourth set. And Southwest will send Khalees Parker back to serve. She'll come from the left side. Sends a knuckleball over, dug out by East. They're going to set Ralston, and Ralston hammers one that catches the inside of the white line. So point right back to ICC. They'll make some substitutions. These substitutions brought to you by the ICC Wesley Foundation. And that'll send Chloe Carr back to serve. Robinson, quick last second attempt. Block out on Hammond. And they're going to say either double hit or into the net. I'm not sure, but the whistle was blown against ICC, so the point is going to go in favor of Southwest. They'll make their substitutions. Trailing 7-4, 7-11 here in the fourth set. And they'll send Ava Davis back to the right side to serve. Davis sends that one right into the middle of the net. Service error. So ICC quickly back to a 5-point lead. They're up 12-7. They send two out, bring two in, including Fisher Enos. She's been great at the line tonight in every set for ICC. If she can get her on a run here, it could be big. Parker digs that one out. They go to Robinson, medium court. ICC is going to set up Dorr over a couple defenders, and then they're going to say East into the net there. So Southwest able to string a couple points together here. They haven't been able to do that a lot here in this fourth set since it opened up early and they had a 2-0 lead. So they'll make some substitutions. And they'll have Mitchell back to serve. That one dug out by Dorr. They're going to set up East. She just gets it over on the third attempt. Tap over defense there by Vaughn gets an easy point for ICC as that set just hung above the net, allowed ICC to get up there and Vaughn to tap that one down. Emma East will check out. Now Salter will check in for the Indians. She'll go back to serve. ICC up 13-8 here in this fourth set, leading 2-1. Salter's shot over, dug out by Parker. They'll go to Robinson on the left side. She get past some defenders. Quick effort by Carr, but not enough as that one's going to go back and into the bench area. So we side out once more. Southwest makes a substitution and sends number 9, Haley Eckert, back to serve. Eckert shot over. Salter digs that one out. Enos sets to Phillips. Phillips goes up, but she finds a pair of blockers in the face of Tierra Martin and Berta Souls. They combine to shut that one down. They've cut this, what was a 5-point lead for ICC, down to 3 as they trail 10-13 here in the fourth. Eckert serves again. Salter's going to dig that one out. Enos is going to set in the middle to Carr. She gets it right down over Souls and then off of Eckert as well. So ICC able to stem that 2-point run, push a lead back to 4, and they'll send Katie Vaughn back to serve. Mitchell digs that one out. They'll set Martin on the right side. She taps over. ICC's going to set Taylor. Taylor once again coming up. Big night for the freshman who's really stepped up tonight and contributed both in terms of blocks and kills. And now Southwest down 5 again is going to take a timeout. We'll take it with them and come right back. Welcome back from the quick timeout, folks. ICC leads Southwest here in Fulton, 2-1, and they have a 5-point lead here in the fourth set, looking to close this out and take the victory tonight. ICC leading 15-10 with Katie Vaughn serving. She steps back to the line. Her shot goes over. They're going to set Robinson on the left side. A couple blockers there, but unable to get to it. Dive-in effort by Phillips, but they're going to say the ball hit the ground first. So Southwest gets that point, cuts the lead to 4. They'll make a pair of substitutions. One of those being Hattie Tynes, who will check back in and go to the line to serve for the visiting Bears. Tynes shot over, dug out by Phillips. Set back to Phillips on the left side. She gets that one handled by Southwest. Robinson with a heck of an effort to get that back. Now, good setup for Dorr, but she catches it a little late on her jump and puts it into the net. So suddenly that lead is cut down to 3, 15-12, with Tynes serving for Southwest. Tynes' shot just barely clears the line, but it does. Salters is going to get it over for ICC on the third. A little confusion by Southwest, but they're able to get it together. Salters digs out their shot. Enos is going to set up Dorr. This one she gets over one defender, 2 defenders, but not 3. And then there is Robinson. She's been so strong and been all over the court for Southwest tonight. She's able to get that one in a hole. And so suddenly that 5-point lead is cut down to 2. ICC is going to need to find a way to break this run, preserve their lead. And that unforced error is one way to do it. Unfortunately for the visitors, they've had a number of service errors tonight and given ICC 3 points on it. So lead back to 3. ICC up 16-13. Maggie Miller will step back on behalf of the Indians to serve this one. It's dug out by Parker. They're going to set to the left side. Shot over. Salter digs out. Miller's going to set up to Phillips. Phillips gets a shot to the back line. Just what ICC needed. Don't want to give them back the serve right after getting it. And so now the lead back to 4. ICC up 17-13 here in this 4th set. Maggie Miller continuing to serve for ICC. Parker digs her serve out. They're going to set to Robinson, this time on the right side. She punches one over. ICC ready. They set Taylor. Taylor's been good. That one handled by Southwest. They'll go to the left side for Robinson. Robinson gets it past Taylor and Ralston. And so we side out once again. Ball back to Southwest. They trail 17-14. Robinson will serve. Phillips gets that one out. ICC able to thankfully get that across on the 3rd. They're going to set on the right side. ICC ready. Ralston here with a cross shot and gets that one down. Had a little difficulty earlier with her shots like that going wide, but she's able to angle that one right down on top of the Southwest defense. Gets a lead to 4. ICC is going to make a substitution. This one brought to you by the Bank of Okolona. John Harrod and all our friends down there, we appreciate their support. Ella Grace Phillips serving for ICC. Southwest is going to go to the left side to Hammond. She gets it past a couple defenders. And the call is in favor of ICC, so no defender touched it. ICC has been able now to push their lead back out to 5, leading 19-14 here in the 4th set. Phillips serve, kind of a screwball there, but Robinson gets a hold of it. They go to Hammond on the left side once more. ICC ready. They're setting up East. East with a nice little punch over there. Finds the hole in the defense. ICC now up by 6, their biggest lead of this 4th set. 20-14 ICC. The serve back. Left side to Hammond. She's blocked out by Ralston, but Southwest keeps it alive. Robinson from the back line. ICC digs that one out. Woolbright's going to set it up. Phillips will go over on the 3rd. Robinson digs one out. The quick tap over from Southwest. ICC. Woolbright's going to set that to East. East is blocked out by number 20, Berta Souls. So the lead now cut to 5. Southwest will send Parker. Khalees Parker, one of their liberos, back to the line to serve. ICC wants to get this one back quick. Phillips digs that one out. Miller sets that up to Taylor, who's really having a career night as an ICC Indian. She gets another kill, pushes that lead to 6, allows ICC to substitute a couple players. That substitution brought to you by our friends at Sam's Town Market in Mantachie. Chloe Carr serving for the Indians, and she gets an ace as everyone was just standing there looking. So the ace pushes the lead to 7. ICC 3 points away from closing this night out. Another serve by Carr, dug out by Hammond. Quick slap back over by Vaughn. Southwest is going to set Hammond on the left side again, over a couple defenders. ICC starts struggling. East gets it back over. Parker digs out for Southwest. They'll set the right side to Eckert. Dig out by Phillips. And then Vaughn with the power shot down. ICC is on a good run here. They're feeling it. Now up by 8, 23-15, leading 2 sets to 1. If they can get these last 2 points, they can end the night and send the Southwest Bears on a long trip back to Summit. Carr sends one over. At the line, tapped in, tapped over, and in favor of ICC. So now set and match point for ICC, leading 24-15 here in the 4th set. Chloe Carr back to serve for match point. She sends it over, dug out by Robinson. Sets Eckert. Eckert goes for the tap. Miller ready. Carr sets up to East on the right side. East goes, and it's just a little long. So the Southwest Bears can breathe for one more play. As they'll make a substitution, and they'll send Ava Davis, number 14, back to serve. But ICC still up by 8, 24-16. Floor official being very meticulous with this substitution here. Now he allows it to take place. ICC still with match point. Looking to close this out and win 3-1. Serve over by Davis. Phillips digs out. Miller sets East in the front. East powers it down over Robinson, and there's your victory for ICC. They win the fourth set, 25-16 to win the match 3-1. So ICC wins first set 25-20. Southwest gets the second set 25-23. ICC gets the third set 25-16, and the fourth set by the same score of 25-16. So a good night for ICC, stringing together 2 wins in a row this week as they're able to get a victory at Gulf Coast on Monday night and a victory here at home over Southwest tonight, 3-1. So we appreciate you all for tuning in. I want to remind you that our next broadcast will be for ICC football tomorrow night on the Red Channel here on Let'sGoICCTV.com. That game will start at 6:30. We'll be at Holmes to play the Bulldogs. Big match for the north half of MACCC, as both ICC and Holmes are 3-0 in the division, and the winner of tomorrow night's game will be in the driver's seat for the playoffs. So for everyone at home watching, we thank you for joining us tonight. For those here helping me out, we got Cal Brown, Casey, and Noah on the floor taking pictures. I'm Michael Upton. Thank you for tuning in, and as always, Roll Tribe.